The plumber. He says he witnessed a row between your husband and Lawrence Jansen at the Eclipse.
Yes. It was... Sorry.
Would you like to stop?
No, no. This is hard. You see, my sister Mary was found dead up on the ridge years ago. I'm sorry.
You question Peter again. I'll tackle Lawrence. And look into the death of her sister.
If the rock that killed Jeremy was a lunar fragment, like those in the museum, you could say he'd been moonstruck.
Hmm?
The Moonstone Curse, sir. Maybe there's something in it.
So delta P equals MPC cubed, which also equals the sum of delta by the sum of MPC equals delta by MC squared to the power of 2 over MPC cubed, where MP is mass of the proton and E is energy.
Well, very interesting. Let me have a read of your thesis and I'll get back to you. That's all.
Great, yes. Thanks, Lawrence.
Are you encouraging her in this?
No, it's all her own work. The girl has a brain the size of a planet.
And an ego to match.
The arrogance of youth, perhaps. It's such an elegant critique of your theory, don't you think?
There's no time for anything that undermines me or the prestige of the observatory. And you know the trouble this place is in since Jeremy Harper shot his mouth off.
That's an administrative problem. Guggen's mathematics are consummate. Pure science. That's all that matters to me.
So what's a plumber doing with a dish like that?
It's a radio telescope. Bounces deep space signals back into the feed.
Signals from what?
Stars, planets, galaxies, little brown dwarfs.
Any little green men been in touch?
There's 1 billion galaxies in the multiverse, Sergeant. Odds on someone's trying to reach us.
You really believe that?
We've had UFOs on Moonstone Ridge. And then, of course, there are the visitors.
What sort of visitors?
Extraterrestrials. Moon-like faces, or so they say.
You told me you'd seen Jeremy having an argument with Lawrence Jansen before he was murdered.
Yeah, I've no idea what about.
But you were friends with Jeremy, though, in the Astronomy Society.
I think friends is over-egging. You never really got close to Jeremy. We worked on stuff together. Him, George Dormer, Gargan and me, analysing data sets from space missions, telescope downloads.
Can you think of any reason why someone would want to kill him?
Well, he was a top-class pain. But no, it's probably just some nutter. There's plenty of them out there.
Yeah. I meet a lot of them in my line of work.
Sorry, E.T. calling. Excuse me. Aquarian Systems. Ah, yes, hello.
Detective Chief Inspector Barnaby.
Lawrence Jansen, Director. This is Professor Adrian Sharp.
Hello.
Ah.
Are you familiar with the uncertainty principle, Chief Inspector?
I'm not really sure.
Prime law of quantum physics. How you look at things affects what you believe you see.
That's also the first law of criminal investigation, Professor.
Ah, yes. Just one moment.
Dr. Jansen, I understand you had an argument with Jeremy Harper on Moonstone Ridge just before the eclipse.
Yes. Handbags at 10 paces stuff. Jeremy was always picking a fight.
About what?
Yeah, he was hostile to certain developments we have in mind for the ridge.
Chief Inspector, the rock your forensics people sent us for examination. It's definitely a meteorite.
I'll leave you with Adrian, Chief Inspector.
It has a dark crust caused by the friction heat of atmospheric entry. Very dense matter, probably iron and nickel. There's megatons of metal floating about out there. Carbon compressed to its deepest density, sucked into black holes, which is probably where our own planet will end its days.
A cheery thought.
Depends how you look at it. In the final analysis, we're all stardust.
Jones, find out some more about Lawrence Jansen. Oh, and check out Panel Sun International while you're about it.
Where's the damn story, Tanya? Where's the grabby headline?
Well, it's a murder, Mr. Clough.
That's yesterday's news. It'll soon be all over the telly. Get ahead of the curve. You should be out there digging, not sat in here bump starting your brain.
Yes, Mr. Clough. I'll find a story.
Couldn't find your backside with a light on, Tanya. And as for you, Mystic Mags, our readers don't want all this guff about global community of awakened souls. They want to know if they're going to cup off with a tall, dark stranger who's heaven on earth. Spice it up, love.
Right, got you. Yes.
This newspaper is on the edge. Simple as a pimple, ladies. Boost circulation or your future is going to be in the past. The pair of you.
Philistine. Oh, but he's right. We need a new angle on this murder story.
Okay. I have got an idea which I think will raise a few eyebrows. Take a look at this.
Anything more on Peter the Plumber?
He's on a planet with a pixie, sir. Spent most of the time talking about extraterrestrial life.
Ah, the Goldilocks zone. Not heard of it, Jones?
We're on the Three Bears now.
The theory that life may exist on a habitable planet somewhere out there. One that's not too small and not too big and not too hot and not too cold, but just right.
Huh? Lawrence Jansen took over the observatory 3 years ago.
And Panel Sun International?
He brought them in. Big solar energy company. Very green environmentalist outfit. They gifted the observatory a 3-year grant of £2 million.
So that funding's up for renewal.
Could be, yeah. And I ran through Jeremy's mobile. There's a few threatening emails on there to Lawrence.
Threatening what?
Apparently Jeremy got wind that Lawrence planned to close down the old Stanton Astrodome and build a new university facility on part of Moonstone Ridge. Jeremy wrote to Panel Sun and threatened a mass campaign against it.
Oh, so that's what their row was about then. Lawrence would be furious. Jeremy was threatening his funding.
And I read through the files on Katrina's sister, Mary. She was married to Harmendra Dutta, a local chemist. Her body was found on Moonstone Ridge 15 years ago. Kate's checking the pathology reports. There were suspicions.
You seen the paper, Jones? Mercury's Mystic Mags predicted murder on Moonstone Ridge. Mystic Mags told our reporter that Jeremy Harper's death was written in the stars.
That's baloney.
She was standing closest to Jeremy when he was killed. Maybe she knows more than she said.
Why did you do it?
I had to.
It's murder, Max. If the police start digging into the past, who knows where it will lead?
They won't find out. How can they?
It's not a clever stroke to pull. Not clever at all.
Have you put my diary somewhere?
It's in the hall by the phone.